All right, DMV basketball fans, welcome into the live college commitment of Yusuf Mavins. This is an exciting day for me, but more importantly for Yusuf here and his family. So, Yusuf, maybe before we start out, why don't you introduce who's up on the screen here with you?
Got my parents, my mom and my dad, and then head coach.
Yes, sir. Awesome. All very important people in the process, obviously. Special day for you, so glad you can have your loved ones there with you, and also some friends and family in the crowd listening to this. And I'm sure online a lot of people are checking this out too. This is Bleav in DMV Hoops. This is part of the Department of Hoops, a DMV media network. So you can catch all kinds of basketball content from high school to college to NBA. So we're happy to help do this process. For anybody not familiar with Yusuf's game, it's a top 20 guard in the state of Virginia, two-star recruit out of Potomac High School. And making a really exciting college choice here today between Virginia Military Institute, which is obviously in Virginia, St. Thomas in Florida, and Rose-Hulman in Indiana. So we'll get to that here in a little bit. But Yusuf, let's just start out, talk about you here a little bit. I know it's quite a journey to get to this point and, some ups and downs in the recruitment. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what that process was like for you along the way?
Yes, sir. So I started here at Potomac my freshman year and sophomore year. Ended up getting kind of good playing on the New World. I played with New World and DC Premier my sophomore summer. And then I ended up transferring to Mount Zion Prep for my sophomore reclass year. So I reclassed there and I had a pretty great year there. Played a lot of top competition and yeah, it was really good for exposure for me. I had a lot of coaches in and out the gym. So, and then ended up transferring back around February due to some infestation in the dorms.
The crazy life of a basketball player, right?
Yeah. So, me and my parents, we had long talks about it and we just decided to come back to Potomac. A lot of coaches were asking if I'm going to go, play private school ball again as 2026. And I decided to just stay home. And, this is where my support system is. This is where I started. So it was nothing like, to stay here for my senior year.
That's awesome. I'm sure Coach there was excited to have you back in the fold here too throughout the season.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was. I definitely was when he transferred back in. It was really good for us. Especially with losing some guards from the year before. So having Yusuf come in over the summer was really, really good. And it gave us an opportunity because when I got here, we didn't really have opportunity to really gel with one another. And we had a really good opportunity this summer and all through the season to gel with each other.
That's awesome. I'm glad it worked out for all parties here and led us to this day. So it's really exciting. So Yusuf, for anybody listening to this that's not familiar with your game or fans of your new school that are checking this out, what kind of player should they expect to see next year?
They're going to get somebody who's really competitive, somebody that's just going to leave it all out on the floor, high IQ. I'm going to be able to just score, rebound, get assists, just all around. I'm just going to be all around player, do anything I can do to make sure we win.
Were there any particular players that you like to model your game after, or guys you just like to watch and steal little pieces from?
Yes, sir. I would say Jalen Brunson, Trae Young. I like to watch some of those guards just because like the change of pace in their game and just kind of how they control the game.
Yeah, it's two really good ones there. So you can't go wrong with lifting pieces of what they do out there too. So more importantly, I guess for your new coaches, I think they'll back this up. What kind of person and teammate are they getting next season?
A leader first. I'm gonna come in, just make sure I'm always leading the team and really just making sure I'm happy for my teammates. And yeah, I'm just gonna be a good teammate as well.
That's awesome. It goes a long way, especially the course of a long college basketball season. So they'll be happy to have that. And just for you, what kind of program were you looking for? What was this recruitment coming down to? What were you prioritizing? It's different for everybody. So what were the key factors for you?
I definitely want to go somewhere where I was going to have great academics and great basketball. So I wanted to go somewhere where I was going to get the both of best worlds. Mm-hmm. And, I think I made the right choice. I also wanted to go somewhere where, I was gelling with the head coach very well. And I think I definitely made the right decision with this one.
That's great. And you ended up in these 3 schools. I think they all offer, something slightly different in there. So we'll circle back to why you made the decision you made here in a minute. Before we get to that, just, obviously we talked about the 3 people up there on the panel with you, but is there anyone else you'd like to shout out along the way that kind of helped in this process that's not there with you?
Yeah. First and foremost, I'd like to thank God just for, guiding me, and he's always played a big role in this. And, my parents, of course, they always, just made a way for me, always sacrificing everything for me. So, and then, my coaches, teammates, everybody who's here, my whole support system. So, yeah.
It's impossible to get to a day in a moment like this without help along the way. So glad to take a minute to acknowledge all of them. But the day is ultimately all about you here. This is a big moment for you. So at this point, why don't we get into that decision? And I'm just going to throw it over to you to let you make the big announcement here.
Yes, sir. So it took a lot of thought and consideration with this one. I'm just going to get to it. Without further ado, I'll be going to Rose-Hulman. Hey! Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Give him the camera. Yeah.
Very exciting.
Hey. Let's go.
All right, we got to get that in the mail right away. Coach Sales wanted me to make sure that you put that thing immediately, FedEx it, overnight shipping, whatever you got to do there, okay?
Yes, sir.
Colors are looking good on you. Very cool. It's a good start. Looking fresh in the uniform is always important here along the way too. So let's just get into it a little bit. Why Rose-Hulman? What stood out for them, and what set them apart from these other 2 really good programs?
Honestly, it was just the connection me and Coach Sales had made from the very jump. He called me, I think, sometime before our season, maybe like at the end of AAU season, and he just showed a lot of interest in me. And we just gelled, like on FaceTime calls. He was on calls, FaceTimes with my parents and stuff like that. So we just gelled really good. And obviously they have like the #1 engineering program in the damn my voice. They had the #1 engineering program in the country. So that's something I want to fulfill. Like I want to major in engineering design. So that made it good. And then he just proposed opportunity for me as a freshman coming in. Like he really believes in me. And like he's expecting me to come in and lead the team and make an impact as a freshman.
So let's go through a couple of these boxes you mentioned here that you wanted this program to check. So last year they were 17-10, 13-5 in conference, so really solid already. They're just their 3rd season under new-ish head coach Nick Sales. So that's exciting to show that he's building in the right direction here. Already got a winning program in the first couple of years, and that's the first box you checked. So it's nice to see them, have a good year throughout the year here, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
The next one, you mentioned the academics. So they are the Fighting Engineers. You don't put engineer in your name unless you're really proud of how that stands out about your academics. So another cool one to go to one of the top engineering schools in the country. But have you thought about majors at all here yet? Is that one that might appeal to you?
Yeah. So, I mean, engineering design, that's what I want to do. And that's really why I chose this school, because it would give me like I said, the best of both worlds. I can play basketball and also just go to one of the best engineering programs in the nation. So
I think a lot of times people mention the academics, but it's not as high on the list as they present it out to be. But for you, Yusuf, drop the most important stat during your whole high school career here. What's the GPA looking like these days?
4.12, I think. Yeah.
That's something we should be applauding. Absolutely. All right, so you're backing it up. That's very cool. And Fighting Engineers, kind of cool and unique mascot, so you get some unique merch out of it, which is always pretty cool here. And then you mentioned the opportunity to play as a freshman. So you and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, which I thought was cool. But Joey Schmitz was their leading scorer this year as a freshman guard. Kind of plays similarly to you, so that like there's a room for you in the offensive system, and that the coach, they're not just saying that they're willing to give guys opportunities. So I'm sure that was exciting too.
Yes, sir. From the jump, he already made it clear that there is going to be opportunity for me to play as a freshman, but it's really just down to me, just if I can perform, right? And so he expects me, like I say, he expects me to come in and be ready to work and be able to make an impact next year.
I think with things like streaming and the internet, like basketball is everywhere. And if somebody is a good basketball player, you can find them and find what they do. And that really is, super cool. But it's just important to be where you feel wanted and where you feel comfortable. And it sounds like this is the right opportunity for you to kind of check all those boxes. So pretty exciting. Was there anything else in this decision here that we didn't talk about that sort of factored in for you?
Nah, I think that kind of wraps everything up. I just want to say thank you to everybody here, my whole support system, everybody that supported me my last 4 years of high school basketball. It always means a lot. So I want to thank everybody.
Yeah, that's really cool to get a turnout like that. So a round of applause for everybody there in the crowd, also showing some love. Yusuf, it's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you through this process here, and you got a fan here for life. And in the DMV, we look after our own. So excited to see, what you do throughout the rest of your career. I'm sure you'll make lots of good choices, after basketball as well. But just go have fun and just enjoy the college experience and just go hoop, man. Do what you do, and we look forward to following along the way. So thanks for letting us do that here on Bleav in DMV Hoops, and please check in with us throughout the season. I want to have you be like the full-time correspondent over at Rose-Hulman, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, good luck. Go have some fun. Take a lot of pictures. Enjoy this moment, and we will talk to you soon. Everybody, this is on YouTube, so check this out. Give it a couple likes for our guy here so that more people see this, and hopefully we get this out to the Rose-Hulman community as well, and they'll be excited for next season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, everybody, take care. And
let's go, baby. Hey, baby.